charge the same tuition as the public school, which is free, because we are a public school. So we are not a private entity, and because of that, we are under the laws of the state of Indiana. I wanted to welcome you to this evening where we'll try to communicate to you the philosophy of the educational approach that we're using. For those of you who are interested, it's the Bernstein approach. I doubt that that's on very many exams, so if you recognize that name, I applaud you. It's a recent development in education service, in education circles, and we're really excited to apply this approach to our school. One of the things that we're going to have at our school is a dress code. And we have right now some mannequins with some possibilities for a dress code in the back there. Now, fashion has never been my strong suit, but it looks like khaki skirts, khaki pants, and polo shirts or sweaters in the back there. So I encourage you to go back and look at some possibilities we have there, between shirts, pants, belts, and shoes. This is to provide an atmosphere where all students feel like they're part of school, and no student is held above another student from where they come out and dress. We're very excited for you to be here, and what I'd like to do now is to introduce our school leader, who will then set forth how the program will operate the rest of the evening. We're very excited to have Jean Taylor as our school leader. She brings a wealth of experience to our school. She's been a long-time member of the community of Marion in educational circles and has done a variety of things within the community of schools here. She will have some more to say, and so I will introduce her now, Jean Taylor.
He did select clothing. No, he really didn't. We'd like to thank Mrs. Bobby Owensby, who went out and purchased, at least initially, the clothing for you to get a glimpse of this evening. And once again, we're saying that rather than saying we do have uniforms, we have a dress code. And I do think that we need to address the dress code in our school, specifically to allow students to feel as though they belong, they are a part of, and they meet with the specific requirements as is not only in the school but also beyond the school. So that will be our standard mode of operation in terms of the appearance. And once again, we are not promoting one particular location as to where you purchase items as opposed to another. Typically, what I think we've generated is that as long as the clothing, the skirt or the pants are khaki, as long as the top is red, white, or blue, students can have a choice. And we will also, we're not going into the wearing of shorts and that sort of thing, because sometimes that gets us into other issues that we would rather not focus on. And we're also going to promote just plain shoe wear. We'll have two modes of shoes, one for the classroom and one also for the recreation area, which would be the play area, gymnasium, if you call it that. This particular sanctuary will be changed into a recreational space for children, particularly during the winter time when the snow is out there and they can't go out of doors. So there'll be that kind of fashion apparel, and also I think Mrs. Owensby provided us a little bit of a chart back there so that we can see the different options. Another option might become a case where the student would wear, the girls would wear a jumper type of a clothing outfit. So that is featured in some of the pictures back there as well. So without further ado with that, let me explain a couple of things, because I have a tremendous speaker for you this evening, and if I spent too much time talking about her accolades and where she's been, we wouldn't have time for our program. So she has had a tremendous impact on me, and as the Academy just recently sent me to New York, which I felt kind of like the Clampetts going to New York, but anyway, I was there. And it was a case where Dr. Levert, through her guidance, through her expertise, guided me to the appropriate programs that I think will be very instrumental in this process. So to her in just a moment, but at the back of the room, we have 3 pieces of literature that you may want to take hold of. First and foremost, we have the sheet that looks like this on the front, which is our promotional, and on the back is the intent to enroll form. Now, we have set a tentative date of April the 25th, by which time we are asking parents to make an initial commitment. If, in fact, by April 25, we have the 158 student enrollment number, then we will not have to resort to a lottery system as such. However, if that number is above and beyond 158, that will then become the format by which we will make selections. That information is addressed in this 2-page handout, which is available at the back as well. It goes through initial enrollment information, eligibility criteria, lottery procedures. We have had some very interesting questions in the last couple of weeks where a parent would say, if my son gets into the academy and my daughter, the name isn't drawn, then where do we go? I believe this information will address that. Secondly, we had another situation, and I think I spoke with the mother this evening, where there were twins involved. In fact, there were 2 questions of inquiries that came to me about that. And certainly, we will likely meet the needs of both of those individuals. I mean, you know, you just can't, you can hardly say yes to one and no to the other in a situation like that. I think common sense will overrule in some of these very minute situations. So that's a critical piece. This is just our introductory flyer, if you will, about the program, about what we're doing in terms of charter education in Marion, Indiana. Just one more thing about choice, and that's this. No. I think Marion, Indiana has reached a crossroads, and as a Marion Community School product, as a resident of this community for basically my entire life, Marion has done a fine job with me, with my family, and I applaud their efforts. And I think at this point in time, we've reached a different society, a different sense of need, and perhaps a different sense of approach. And so the way I view charter education here is this. I just merely say, it is a choice, it's not a competition. We're here to achieve, and what we're going to do is aim for the A. That means accountability and achievement for all that are involved, and that would be the student, the parent, the teachers, obviously, the community, and all that are involved. So we are indeed aiming for the A. So that's a perfect segue to introduce the guest this evening who's about to speak about the Feuerstein Instrumental Enrichment Program. You will see these acronyms repeated, FIE, FIE. Dr. Gwen Levert is going to spend some time with you this evening. She's going to show you one of those instruments in action. She's going to then give you a copy of that instrument so that as your child is seated there with you, you'll be able to kind of walk through that instrument and see why this approach is indeed going to be different. She's going to talk about cognition and how we try to keep kids as early on and sustain this from getting labeled, from non-achievement, and from slipping through the cracks. There is something to be said about no child left behind. So, Dr. Levert is currently a professor at Indiana Wesleyan University. She's written several children's books, and as I said before, she's traveled throughout the world. She was talking the other day when I first met her that she had come back from, I don't know, someplace in Europe, but I think I'd been over to Fairmount. So I was learning a lot, but she's an expert, and I am gaining by leaps and bounds by her expertise, and I hope that you do enjoy her program this evening. Dr. Levert.
Good afternoon. I'm so excited to be here today. I was on the planning committee for this charter school, and I think it took us about 2.5 years to get Ball State to realize that we knew what we were going to do and that we had an idea for what worked for children. So I'm excited to be here today.